Hello everyone, this is Sensei Monday on Shadowhawk Koga Ninjutsu training. Once again, how's everybody doing? I want to show some more techniques, samurai kenjutsu, but I'm going to be doing it with the art of jojutsu, uh, the short Japanese jo or hanbo. Samurai often fought with these also, uh, especially when they didn't have the sword with them on certain occasions. The art of jojutsu is a very vital art, and it's a very effective art, especially when one has mastered techniques from it, especially against a sword. Okay? What I want to point out is that the jo staff usually is about 3 feet, maybe a little bit in diameter, a little shorter than 3 feet, but usually about that size. Perfect for defending oneself against other weapons that are different. See, one of the stances when I first started taking jojutsu from my first sensei, back when I was learning, one of the stances that I learned is where you stand and a defensive canton. This stance right here has many different names. One of the stances names that I learned it as Dachi, defensive Dachi or Hira Dachi, no kamae. Okay, you stand like regular, relaxed. The hands are usually in the middle. Both hands are at the sides. Okay, it is a stance of defense. And when you get ready to strike, you move at a side angle. Okay? As you move, the hand is going to slide and hit this way. Okay? Okay? So you're moving off a slide 45 angle on both patterns, okay, of the movement. And as you're moving at the same time, the ends strike the opponent's hand or wrist or arm, especially if they had a knife, a sword, depending on the angle to come at you with. Let me turn from a side position from this view so you can kind of see what's going on. Okay. So what's happening is the ends of the jo, the tip ends is actually doing the hitting, not necessarily the stick part. If it is hitting, then it'll be probably about maybe an inch of it hitting, but it's actually hitting on the corners of it because that's one of the most hardest spots of the stick. Because a lot of people tend to hit with it here, you know. It's good, but eventually the stick would break, even though it is hard. And then if it struck against the sides of a sword, over time, that would weaken up in the wood there, up in the fibers of the wood. And it'd last for a while, but it would eventually break. It would break probably like a split off an angle or something like that. So you want to hit at the ends of the jo staff, because those are the most hardest ends of the stick. Okay, a lot of people don't recognize that, but it's important to know. And once again, and what's happening is I move, I'm hitting whatever they tried to hit me with, knocking it. It's more like a disarming technique, okay? And when I move out of the way, the hand is slightly kind of slid out to make the distance to hit the attacker's weapon hand. Okay, So this is more like a disarming type of technique, and this is the striking part of it. So when we're here, after we disarm them, we hit at that angle. As soon as you hit that hand of disarming, this is going to slightly tilt. And you're going to bring this hand up, striking with an agi strike, rising strike, and it hit underneath the chin. Like that, like twisting motion, okay? Okay, and then you return back to Dachi Hira no kamae or Dachi no kamae. Okay, on the side here. Okay. So this movement is more for defensive part of jojutsu. There's a samurai technique that I learned from my master that they would do to deflect an incoming attack, moving at those angles on 45-degree angles, you know, to hit the attacker's weapon hand. And that would even be with a sword coming down, or certain movements to counter out, even to block the sides of the blades of their sword to hit the wrist, you know, and then come in and do the rising agi strikes to the chin, you know. All right. One more technique behind this stance from here at Dachi no kamae is that they would move, hit, okay, and then as soon as they would hit, you know, they would rotate and re-hit, okay. That's what that looks like. As soon as I move and hit that attacking arm, we rotate and hit over. Many ways to do it. Okay, so this technique is designed for striking in a correspondence with also disarming the attacker's weapon hands. Okay, so pay attention to the movement of the technique. When you move at angles, when the hands are here toward the middle, they can be a little wider out, but fairly to be up a little close toward the middle. Okay. You would move, and this would simply slide up to give you more distance to hit with the corners of the hard part of the jaw to disarm, okay, when you do this technique. Don't forget to slide with your movement to hit that arm, okay? So when you re-rotate to hit their arm, as soon as you come here, okay, you would whip it coming off a reverse type of angle. You know, it's kind of difficult because you have to get used to doing that. It takes practice, you know. So as soon as you hit, you're going to roll it over and re-hit. Okay? You just have to practice it. All right? Okay, let me slow that down. So here, bam, other side. Here, bam, okay? And then you're ready to go again in the stance to hit up to the chin. Hit up to the chin, okay? And that would do damage, knocking them back. And as they went back, after you had hit them with the agi strike, okay, then come in with a press to the stomach area, solar plexus, driving that right in, even to the ribs. You know, very, very dangerous, very defensive technique. You know, so that's the art on a basic technique, basic technique of jojutsu art fighting that I've learned when I first started learning how to fight with a jo. Practice it 1,000 times. Make the weapon you. But remember, the weapon is just an extension of what the body can do. Okay? But still practice every technique that you learn. You get familiar with it. Practice 1,000 times because you want to polish the spirit. Okay? This is Sensei Monday on Koga Shadowhawk Ninjutsu training with more samurai techniques and tactics using the Jo stand. And thank you once again. Us keep practicing.